Welcome to StarWatch Now, your front row seat to all the hottest gossip, drama, and breaking news from the world of entertainment. If it's trending, shocking, or star-studded, we're covering it. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Freeze the frame and lean in. There's a tiny, cheerful monster clipped to Wang Yibo's backpack. Hardly the sort of detail that should tilt markets, rewire styling norms, and spark a kinder conversation about pressure in show business. Yet that's precisely what this little charm has done. Today on StarWatch Now, we unpack how a palm-sized accessory became a quiet masterclass in cultural momentum. No hype, no shortcuts, just the power of a small, honest detail done consistently well. A micro-object only becomes macro when it carries more than its weight in meaning. At first glance, a palm-sized mascot clipped to a backpack seems like garnish, pleasant, forgettable, replaceable. But the moment it acquires a story, a lineage of additions, and a place in someone's routine, it turns into a signal. Designer toy culture understands this instinctively. Scarcity matters, but scarcity without narrative is merely subtraction. What compels people is the convergence of three forces: limited supply, coherent design, and a tale they can retell as their own. When that triad meets repeated exposure in public life, the object stops its opposite. That jolt of surprise heightens salience and sharpens recall. The eye returns to the scene, asking quietly, "What am I missing?" When a disciplined, almost austere public figure allows a playful mascot to swing from a sleek backpack, the image becomes a riddle. Strength sits beside softness, restraint beside whimsy, and in that friction a story appears. We do not merely observe a look, we witness a choice. The charm does not negate the cool silhouette. It complicates it, opens it, lends it room to breathe. The mind leans forward, seeking coherence, and in the process we stay longer, notice more, and remember better. Contradiction is not chaos. It is narrative in miniature. It hints that the person in view contains more than one register, that resolve can live with tenderness, that the armor has a lining. Because the gesture is small and repeatable, it reads as intentional rather than theatrical. Each sighting layers meaning. Today it softens an airport stride. Tomorrow it anchors a rehearsal exit. The next week it lightens a monochrome jacket. As the motif accrues, the eye learns to trust it. The incongruity becomes a signature, a compact between performer and audience that says, "I know you see the surface. Here is a truthful seam beneath it." We lock onto contradictions because they promise revelation. They honor the complexity we recognize in ourselves but rarely see acknowledged in public life. In a culture that prizes polish, the quiet clash of elements signals humanity without apology. And that, more than spectacle, is what keeps us looking. The human layer of this image is not decoration but orientation. Under pressure, the world narrows to noise, schedules, and eyes that never quite look away. In that thin air, small rituals become a map back to oneself. A pocket-sized charm, a smooth edge against the hand, the faint tap as it brushes a zip. These are not childish habits but deliberate instruments, tuned to bring the nervous system home. Predictability is their quiet power. When the day is full of variables you cannot control, a familiar object restores one you can. It sets a rhythm when time fractures, a boundary when roles blur, a private signal amid the choreography of public life. Look at the gesture closely and you will see consent written into it. The performer gives access to the spectacle but keeps a sanctuary the camera cannot enter. The charm is the key to that door. It compresses memory and meaning into something portable. A reminder of who you were before the stage, a promise of who you will be after the lights go down. Touch becomes language, cool plastic, soft fabric, the sure click of a clasp, and with it, breath steadies, attention returns, choices widen. The anchor is not an escape from responsibility. It is the condition for meeting it. Composure is not the absence of feeling but the capacity to carry feeling safely, and a small, faithful object helps bear that weight. We admire discipline because it looks seamless. Yet the seams are where the humane work happens. A tiny companion peeking from a strap says, without speech, that excellence and tenderness are not opposites. It gives permission, first to the wearer, then to us, to be focused without pretending to be invulnerable. That honesty does more than soften an image. It dignifies the effort beneath it, and in recognizing that effort we find ourselves steadier too. An accessory becomes an asset when it gathers intention, not when it merely gathers price. The charm on a strap is delightful, yes, but what gives it weight is the care with which it is chosen, the story it carries, and the pattern of living it quietly supports. Collecting begins as affection and can mature into stewardship. You learn to tell pieces apart, to favor coherence over novelty, to keep receipts and memories side by side. Provenance stops being a dealer's word and becomes a personal ethic. This was acquired here, for this reason, during that season of my life. In place of the breathless chase comes a slower, steadier rhythm. You set a budget you can genuinely afford. You pass on items that do not fit your thread. You store what you love so that it lasts. The value you're building is not a spreadsheet fantasy but a library of small, durable joys. The market will always hum with speculation, and it is easy to confuse volatility with meaning. But the collections that endure are anchored by purpose. Ask why a piece belongs with you. Its design intelligence, its cultural dialogue, the way it steadies you when days run hot. Ask how it was made, whether the packaging can be reused, whether the purchase aligns with the world you wish to inhabit. An asset in this sense is not a lottery ticket. It is a compact with the maker, with the community that shares knowledge and care, and with your future self who will inherit your choices. Resist the spiral by returning to the ground. Intention over impulse, patience over panic, relationships over rumors. If you still crave momentum, direct it outward, commission original art, join repair circles, support a transparent charity drop. Then the smallest object becomes a quiet portfolio of taste refined, attention restored, and kindness compounded over time. You don't need a stylist to borrow the essence of the look. Try the one-pop rule. Keep your outfit neutral, then add a single accent with personality, pin, patch, strap charm, or key tab. The simplicity is its strength. Remixable, budget-friendly, and culturally portable. In Tokyo or Seoul, the accent might nod to kawaii or character IP. In Paris, it might lean graphic or architectural. In New York, streetwear pins. In Bangkok or Jakarta, charms with amulet echoes. One idea, many dialects. The Mascot resonates globally because it's fluent in multiple visual languages. Japan and Korea. Character culture and kawaii nuance make tiny companions feel natural, not juvenile. Thailand and Southeast Asia. Protective tokens blur gently into pop design. Familiar yet modern. US, Canada, Australia, Europe. Museum shop editions, indie designer markets, and streetwear patches create an easy on-ramp for adults who love playful intelligence. Singapore and the Philippines. A pragmatic embrace of functional fun. Charms as identifiers on commuter bags and tech cases. The point isn't to chase uniform taste. It's to translate personality. A charm becomes a passport stamp for your mood. Consider how this detail layers over Wang Yibo's professional arc. In The Untamed, his character's restraint becomes a canvas for micro-expressions, feeling conveyed through minimalism. In Hidden Blade, Nameless, he carries tension and ambiguity across an espionage landscape. In Born to Fly, the jet-age grit demands focus and discipline. Now place the tiny monster beside those images. The softness does not contradict the work. It complements it. We're reminded that the person balancing choreography, acting, live performance, racing, and fashion is also allowed to carry a touch of play. That is not brand dilution. It's brand dimension. Brands notice. Investors notice. Auctions notice. But power here lies in balance. If every frame becomes a logo parade, audiences tune out. If personality is buried under strategy, they drift away. The sweet spot is artistry first, branding second, personhood always. Think of it as the combined approach. Skill plus distinct identity plus microdetails. It protects careers from stereotyping because it creates more than one reason to care. You don't stay for a single trick. You stay for a person whose choices feel thoughtfully layered. Treat the mascot as a mini design workshop. Silhouette, can you spot it in a crowd? Texture, matte versus gloss, color harmony, pastel, neon, monochrome, and negative space. How it hangs, how it rests. Once you start seeing design, you talk less about how much and more about what it's saying. That shift from price to purpose turns viewers into participants. You're not only consuming taste, you're building it. We promise new activities that belong to the community and respect copyright. So everything here uses original or generic art concepts. No third-party IP. Hashtag Pocket Mascot Challenge. Post a 10-second short featuring your bag and any small charm you already own. Keep it kind, keep it you. Tiny talisman thread in the comments. Share the everyday object that steadies you. A ticket stub, a ribbon, a pen that never fails. Stories welcome. Museum mode lookbook, neutral outfit plus one accent. Submit photos, we'll curate a reel from Seoul to Paris, Toronto to Singapore. Mindful minute before a tough day. Hold the charm and take 5 steady breaths. In for 4 counts, out for 6, is almost equal to 20 to 30 seconds. Evidence-informed calm. 0 equipment. Upcycle workshop. Turn an old lanyard or headphone tag into a small charm. Repair, repaint, reuse, fashion with a conscience. Design decode. Once a week, pick a charm and journal 3 elements you admire. Shape, texture, color. You'll notice your style getting sharper, fast. The tiny monster on a backpack is a dare to notice, to spot the small decisions that carry large meaning. It tells us that authenticity is not a press release. It's a daily practice. It reminds brands that attention must be earned, not extracted. And it reassures fans that strength needn't be loud to be real. If a thumb-sized smile can cross languages and shift how we think about style, care, and pressure, imagine what one deliberate detail in your day could do for your mood, your work, and your community. This feature is based on public appearances and widely discussed styling patterns. We avoid quoting unverified prices and steer clear of third-party trademarks or copyrighted visuals. If you create content inspired by this video, please use original footage, licensed music, and respectful language. Speculative angles are framed as reportedly or according to collectors, and we encourage healthy skepticism with kind debate. Thank you for spending your time with StarWatch Now. If this story made you see small things with bigger meaning, please subscribe, tap the notification bell, and share this video with someone who appreciates thoughtful style. We'd love to feature you. Drop a comment with hashtag Pocket Mascot Challenge or tell us about your tiny talisman, the object that steadies you before an exam, a meeting, or a performance. Your story might be the encouragement someone else needs today. Stay curious, stay kind, and we'll see you in the next episode.